Okay, well, welcome. So most people have heard of sciatic nerve pain, but not a lot of people don't realize that there's a muscle that can either cause it or mimic it. So today we're going to show you what that muscle is, piriformis, and we're going to kind of explain how it causes this, and then some self-care tips that you can do.
Yes. So hi, we're Brian and Christina from Your HealthySteps, and we teach purposeful foam rolling and self-care skills so you can be active and pain-free.
Yeah.
So we are neuromuscular massage therapists, and we are sharing this.
15 years.
15 years of experience we're sharing with you.
Yeah.
So it's for educational purposes only.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have heard that story so many times from our clients. They'll say, I have sciatica, or I have sciatic pain. And very often it's the piriformis, a muscle you're going to get to know, that is playing a role in the sciatic pain that they're experiencing. Yeah, and it makes sense because a lot people in our society are sitting a lot. And sitting is what causes this muscle to get really tight.
Yeah, the hips get tight, it gets tight.
Yeah. So it makes sense. Okay, you want to
so where's the location of this muscle? Where is this piriformis muscle? So we're going to open up Mr. Manny here a little bit. We're not going to hopefully embarrass him too much. But what I want you to show you here is this right here is the sacrum. That green area right there is the sacrum. And then this is the top of the femur, the big bone on the upper leg. Piriformis resides right in the hip on both sides. And it runs from the femur, top of the femur, all the way over to your sacrum. So that is where this muscle sits.
Okay, so if you want to find your own piriformis, the best way to do it is you're going to put your hand right on the top of your rear. And actually the first thing we're going to find is the top of the femur. So if you take let me get situated here. If you take your leg and you just move your knee back and forth, in and out, you're going to feel that femur moving. Okay, so once you find that femur, you know you're on the right spot, you're on the right bone, and now you're going to take your fingers and just slide them to the back. And if you move your leg back and forth again, you're going to feel the muscle movement.
Especially right off the femur.
Right, the piriformis is right attached there, so you're going to know it's there. Now it's actually going to go from that attachment point, and it's going to go back towards your sacrum. When you go back there, you're really not going to feel that muscle because there's a lot of other muscles on top of it.
The glute muscles there and everything.
But touch that spot and see if it's tender. It might be.
It's a good possibility, So what does this muscle do? Well, it does quite a bit of things, but probably the most common thing that we know is it rotates the leg outward. So if I take my leg and I rotate it out like this, rotate it out like that, like we say the Charlie Chaplin walk. So when your legs are out like this, the way that Charlie Chaplin used to walk, that's what this muscle does. It rotates your leg outward. And again, it does a few other things, but that's the main thing that we're going to talk about. Why is this important? Well, when a muscle is tight, it's going to pull on the bony attachments that it's attaching to. So here, if Mr. Sacrum, if this muscle is tight on Mr. Manny, it's going to pull this area right here. Well, there's a joint right here called your SI joint, and it's going to upset that SI joint, or it can. And then if this is tight, it's going to rotate Mr. Manny's leg outward. And that's really bad when that leg is rotating outward and you're walking or you're running, you're putting a great deal of strain on the hip, the knee, and the ankles. So again, that just creates a whole lot of problems, wear and tear, and then tightness and tightness and tightness, because things get tighter and tighter and tighter. And then because this muscle, there is a large nerve called your sciatic nerve that runs down through this area that comes down all the way down to your foot. And so if this muscle is tight, it can actually entrap that nerve. It can, because the nerve is either going to go under it, over it, or through it. And any of those options, a tight muscle here is going to push on it and entrap it and make it angry. And an angry nerve is just not fun at all. So that's another reason why we need to know that this muscle here is here and why it's important if it gets tight. But then we have something called trigger points. And if you can look on Mr. Manny, you can see two black marks right here, two X's. Those are the common trigger points for this muscle. And a trigger point is just a hyper-irritated point in the muscle that has gotten so angry, it literally is sending pain somewhere else. And if you look at Mr. Manny, he's got a whole lot of red here. That's where the pain can radiate to. His whole entire gluteus maximus, the glute muscle here, can be in pain all the way up to the femur, and then all the way down the back of the leg, almost to the knee. Not quite, but almost to the knee. And then also, some other pain symptoms that you can have is you can have pain in the groin. You can also have pain when you have a bowel movement. So just because this is a muscle tightness area, it doesn't just send pain to other areas. It can also create pain when we have bodily functions. So that's can be quite painful.
Right.
Yes. All right, we'll go ahead and cover Mr. Manny back up again.
Yeah, and you said this pain is really increased.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and that's the thing about this thing. Sitting, standing, walking, daily activities that you would typically do makes this thing get angrier and angrier and angrier. So it really impacts your quality of life. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what causes this muscle to be tight? Well, it's pretty much long-term sitting. And then just think about long-term sitting over years, accumulated over years. And so our society, right, we do a lot of sitting. So there's a lot of people who have this area that's tight. And what's really interesting too is that as this hip joint gets tighter and tighter and tighter, little things that probably wouldn't have bothered you before, like maybe just doing a quick jerky movement, like slipping on ice or picking something heavy, and then twisting quickly, can really send this muscle into spasms, right? It just gets so tight.
I have a lot of clients, I was just thinking about this, that the hamstring, this whole area gets tight just simply going out for a walk. And it just gets tight all the way up in here. And then we know that the hips are tight.
Yeah. So who commonly has a tight piriformis? Well, if you sit a lot. So whether you're sitting a lot in the car or at your office job or even on a bicycle, right? That's sitting. You're prone to getting a tight piriformis. Yeah.
So what are some self-care? So we really push foam rolling because we think foam rolling is a great way to work the body. Foam balls also work really well, and this is a great area for foam balls. So getting that foam ball, we're going to pull Mr. Manny out here again. We want to get the meat of the glute muscle because the glute muscle is on top of these muscles are deep underneath the gluteus maximus. So a foam ball works really well. But we also want to work around the edge of the sacrum and the edge of the hip bone here, with the head of the femur here. So we're going to get this whole area, and we're going to work all of it. Some people that I've talked to who said, well, I got in here, but you want to get this whole region because this is one of 6 other muscles. This is just the one that talks the most, but the other ones are important too. So we want to foam roll this area. And then a good stretch is really to lay on your back on the floor on a table, take your leg and cross it over so that your foot on the palm area is sitting right next to the kneecap. And then you just take your hand, you pull this across your body and take the other hand that on the same side and pull your hip. So you're doing a nice little twist, and you'll feel a nice little pull in your glute muscle. So that's a great stretch. And then if you are a side sleeper, so if you're sleeping on your side and you got your legs up like this, take a pillow and put it between your legs, and that'll keep your hips square, and that way your leg is not falling down when you're sleeping. So if you're sleeping on your side, you don't want your body to cave in.
Right.
Put a pillow between your legs.
You want your legs parallel. You don't want that top leg falling over.
Falling down, absolutely.
Okay, well, fabulous. I hope that was some really great tips.
I hope so.
If you like this, please, let us know with a thumbs up.
Absolutely.
If you know somebody who is dealing with piriformis pain or sciatic pain, please share this with them. Click that share button. So, because this might be just the information somebody needed to help them find their solution. Okay, so thanks so much. This is Brian and Christina from Your Healthy Steps.
Yep.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.